What if there was a secret group of wise masters quietly shaping humanity's spiritual journey from the background? Picture amazing people who've cracked the deepest mysteries of the mind, rising above their bodies and egos, chatting across continents with their thoughts, and even tweaking nature's rules. Could this just be a fantasy, or is it reality? Fast forward to the late 1800s, when an incredible and debated woman lifted the veil on these mysteries, bringing this ancient tale to the Western world. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was a bold traveler, a talented painter, and a gifted medium who connected our everyday life to a hidden realm few ever saw. She didn't just stumble into this. She claimed she was chosen to share Eastern spiritual truths with the materialistic West. Through her, the idea of the Great White Brotherhood took shape and became known. Long before Helena Blavatsky ever mentioned the Great White Brotherhood, people worldwide believed in spiritually advanced beings guiding our growth. This isn't just one culture's idea. It's a universal truth that spans ages and places, showing up in similar ways across different traditions. In ancient China's Taoist mysticism, there were Lorens, men and women who reached spiritual perfection and chose to stay in the world. And this was instead of seeking their own freedom. They lived as recluses, quietly influencing society to keep Tao's balance. The mysterious Lao Tse, author of the Tao Te Ching, is honored as one of these masters. Meanwhile, Confucian teachings highlight the Minkisi, and these were sages who mastered virtue and worked behind the scenes to maintain social harmony. In the Himalayas, Mahayana Buddhism introduces the Bodhisattvas. These were enlightened souls who gave up nirvana's bliss out of endless compassion to help all living beings find liberation. This selfless love is a core part of the Great Brotherhood idea. In Theravada Buddhism, the Arhats form a sacred group of enlightened people preserving the teachings, with Siddhartha Gautama, the historical Buddha, as just one of many. Jainism speaks of the Tirthankaras, who built bridges to free others from suffering. In Hinduism's vast world, the Jainis, or Rishis, which were wise beings like Shankara, Patanjali, or Narayana, gained total awareness and work to lift others to that state, their timeless wisdom still guiding us today. Even in Abrahamic faiths, which often stick to their own past, we see parallels. Judaism has the Roer, who are seers, Nabim, who are initiates, and prophets as a line of divinely inspired guides. Christianity celebrates the Communo Sanctorum, saints sharing divine light. In Islam's mystical Sufism, the Wali Allah, or Friends of God, form a hidden spiritual network. This worldwide pattern reveals a deep truth. The idea of a secret brotherhood guiding humanity isn't Blavatsky's creation or modern theosophies. It's an ancient archetype in our collective mind and a quiet echo of a higher reality and greater destiny. Helena Blavatsky was no average person. She was born in 1831 in what's now Ukraine to a noble family. She showed psychic gifts and fierce rebellion against her era's norms from childhood. Her life was a thrilling quest for knowledge, taking her on bold trips to Egypt, India, Tibet, and America in search of hidden wisdom. But these weren't just random adventures. Blavatsky said that they were part of a mission from the Great White Brotherhood's masters, especially the guides, Master Moria and Master Khatumi, whom she claimed lived in the remote Himalayas and spoke to her telepathically. In 1875, she teamed up with Henry Steele Olcott and William Quan Judge to start the Theosophical Society. And this wasn't a new religion, but a group focused on studying religions, philosophy, and science, while exploring nature's mysteries and the powers within us. This became the tool to bring Eastern wisdom, once kept for initiates, to the West. Her books, Isis Unveiled and The Secret Doctrine, weren't just her writings. She described them as telepathic messages from the masters, mixed with her research into Akashic records and ancient occult libraries. These works introduced ideas like the sevenfold human nature and root race evolution, which were new to the West. Blavatsky's goal wasn't to start a new faith, but to revive an ancient wisdom religion behind all traditions, and despite the controversies and fraud claims that followed her, her influence was undeniable. She brought Eastern concepts like karna and reincarnation to the West, inspiring artists like Wassily Kandinsky and William Butler Yeats, which set the stage for 20th century spiritual movements. She was the ultimate link between Eastern and Western mysticism and opened a new chapter of spiritual exploration. But Who were the mysterious masters of the Great White Brotherhood? Blavatsky said they're not gods, angels, or spirits. They're men and women who've reached an amazing level of spiritual growth through lifetimes of discipline, service, and practice. Unlike what some think, they're not just ghosts. They're living people with bodies, though they've mastered skills beyond most of us. They control nature's laws, unlock hidden human potential, and can keep their bodies alive for ages or remake them as needed, with knowledge of the cosmos, humanity's past, and every soul's potential. Blavatsky warned against revealing their names, predicting it would lead to worship and distortion, and it did. Still, some disciples leaked names like Moria and Katumi, which were Blavatsky's guides, and historical figures like the Count of Saint Germain and Alessandro Cagliostro, and they may have been part of this group. A key point, these masters don't want worship. They're teachers. They're not gods or saviors. They're here to help us awaken the same powers they've mastered, following the old saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. Blavatsky described the Brotherhood as split into 3 earthly sections, Egyptian, Indian, and Tibetan. And these were made up of masters from all backgrounds working together for humanity. The white in their name isn't about race. It's pure spiritual light. They shine beyond any boundaries. So how do you join the Great White Brotherhood? Well, Blavatsky was clear about it. There's no quick sign-up. The only way is through the Brotherhood's authorized schools, and these are worldwide hidden training grounds for future members. In her time, she listed groups like the Theosophical Society, True Rosicrucian Orders, certain esoteric Freemasonry branches, Martinism, some yoga schools, Sufi paths, and the mysterious Druze, I'm assuming it's Druze brothers as entry points. All share a focus on personal growth. The initiation process follows a universal pattern, which is purification, illumination, and union. First, you got to clear your ego and old habits with strict discipline and meditation. Then there's special practices that awaken your higher awareness. And finally, you connect with your higher self and universal consciousness, becoming a partner in the planet's spiritual work. This isn't for the timid or the curious. It takes total commitment, bold courage, and selfless love for humanity. Blavatsky said true occultism is about altruism, seeking knowledge to help others, not just yourself. She also warned real masters don't speak through trance mediums or possession. They use conscious telepathy or rare direct visits, always respecting your free will to avoid scams that popped up after their idea spread. Blavatsky's revelation about the Great White Brotherhood didn't end with her 1891 death. They grew and, unfortunately, got twisted by later movements. Annie Besant and Charles Ledbetter, the next theosophical leaders, added more master details Blavatsky might have kept private. Alice Bailey's 24 books, dictated by Master Djwhal Khul, or the Tibetan, built a complex cosmology around the spiritual hierarchy, focusing on planetary cycles. The 1930s I Am and 1950s Bridge to Freedom movements popularized it with dramatic twists, while the 1970s New Age movement made ascended masters a key idea, blending theosophy with channeled messages. Despite these changes, Blavatsky's core message holds. A timeless wisdom unites all true spiritual paths, guarded by evolved humans and open to anyone seeking self-growth with sincerity. Her real gift wasn't a new cult, but a bridge between East and West, science and spirituality, reason and intuition. By introducing karma, reincarnation, and spiritual evolution, she paved the way for a broader, more inclusive spirituality. Blavatsky's journey and insights still captivate us. In a world divided by religion, politics, and culture, her call to see spiritual unity feels more urgent. As she wrote in The Key to Theosophy, wisdom was won in antiquity, proven by the shared philosophy taught by initiates in ancient mysteries everywhere. This vision asks us to look past differences and find the golden thread linking all traditions, reminding us that every path leads to awakening our divine nature and unlocking our potential. Maybe the most inspiring part isn't the idea of amazing beings in far-off places, but that we all carry the same greatness inside. Blavatsky said their powers come from developing what's in every person. That divine spark in them burns quietly in us too, waiting to shine. As we shed ego and material barriers through discipline and service, that spark grows brighter, lighting our path and others. This is the Great White Brotherhood's eternal call and Blavatsky's lasting legacy to become our own masters and lights for a changing world. Like it if you like it. Like, comment, and subscribe on the channel, and I'll talk to you again soon.